So dear, today's topic will be, since I received questions about that, about the controversial tools you sometimes use in magic. Like I did, as it was an emergency yesterday, use a spirit box. And before I started filming, I already had done the formal evocation, and in that I also, in my prayer before, I tell the intent that I'm going to use a spirit box, and also that it is only to record an answer from the spirit, not from the angels, never for an angel. That is sacred to me. So, and then we have some things that I know from the churches, both the Catholic and the Orthodox, and during an investigation, for example, you're allowed to use tools. And in this case, I already knew, since when I first was approached, I was attacked by the spirit, or they made themselves really known to me, but I couldn't catch their name then. So that's the way the angels help me, that when somebody asks me for help, I might get attacked during the night or during the day, just so that I know that the power of whatever spirit it is. And then we have the cultural differences. I have the pagan traditions from Finland and the nature worship, that is something that is part of me, that makes it very relatable for me to connect to other continents that also have the nature approach, where everything is alive, everything has a spirit. You have the spirits of the skies, the winds, the trees, the flowers, everything in nature has a spirit. And also that in your daily life, everything is spiritual in a way. But with that background, I respect others' religions and from the continent they are from. And it's not a Western continent, so in order to make it worse for them, I need to understand what spirit we are talking about, and I need to find a name, and sometimes it's very hard to find out names from spirits in a different continent or country. And that's one reason why I recorded and also have it to send to them. If they need more help to understanding, then they can ask somebody local there who has clear audience or something to listen to it. And I have my own beliefs. You have people who always claim that they hear spirits. I don't during the spirit box. Firstly of all, I'm not interested. It is just when it's a really strong spirit that I might be. And then there is that other part when you see in, let's say, these programs where they film ghosts or whatever they are doing, and they always keep on yelling, oh, this is he said that this is 666 and I'm this spirit and I'm here. No, it's not. It's just a spirit that takes the mickey out of you. If you think that the pure demon would start and take over every time you open a spirit box. But it is fun for a deceased spirit who is earthbound, who doesn't want to leave, to play tricks on you, since they get attention, they get power. And in many ways, people who were angry when they died and don't want to cross over to anything else, they might like that thing. They like that power trip there, to get respect in that way. And they are just like bullies in real life. If they were bullies in life, they might be bullies as spirit. And that is not popular, I can tell you, when I talk about that. Since they we had one person here, oh, I'm so powerful, listen to what I have recorded. And I said, that is your old aunt, so shut up. And I got very angry with him. He tried to scare everybody off that he was so connected and powerful. And I said, if you don't even sense that that isn't a powerful demon, your body feels like lead. You have difficulty to speak. You feel so heavy, or I feel so heavy, that even if I move and speak, everything becomes like slow motion, since there's that heaviness that I don't usually have in my life. So, like I feel like I weigh about 2-3 tons suddenly. And just raising your finger is heavy in a way. So in order to help when there is a language problem, and then we have the different dialects from the country, and if it's a deceased spirit, they don't learn to speak another language, they speak their own language, and that's the trouble when you are trying to help people abroad, especially. So that's when I do a recording, when I know that something is wrong and somebody's sending these curses. So we might need a translator there who talks the language in that continent, and that is why I recorded it, so I could send it for free for the ones imported, so they can use it, and somebody who knows what they are doing can use it as well, and they get the answer there. So it is about working together and also being honest that you know that you don't speak the language that the spirit speaks, and that is a different accent. And that might also happen with very old spirits. They might talk a very ancient form of language, that it might sound a bit alien or different, but it is actually an old dialect. Oh, that fire in still giving me the coughs. But and then there's the approach. In the military, it wasn't just the Bermuda Triangle who had the white noise experiences when the aeroplanes disappeared. It also happened during, since the time of they started to have radios. So my grandfather told me, my father told me about things that happened in the military in Finland when voices came true. So my father was the one that always told me to, when I was young, so that I always turned the TV off or the radio off when I went to sleep. We didn't have remotes back then, and since the white noise can be an opening, it's not that it happens. It is, if you don't have any intent, that doesn't bring in anything, but it might trigger your dreams. And so it's very useful sometimes, and you can use an old TV or be in the between stations of an old battery-driven radio, and you get that white noise as well. But I don't believe in that flipping through channels when they do that by hand, and they try different radio, since people are speaking in reality, and that happens in the speed that your hand can turn and twist the channels. So if you aren't really fast, and if it's an old radio, it will go slow and you can't switch the channels quick enough. So that doesn't, in my opinion, bring any clarity, but instead you hear names and you hear words, since they are speaking in those radio programs, and that's why I don't agree with that so much. But this was just a short trying to explain what is used and what you can use in order trying to help somebody. But I firmly believe that your ability to hear through the spirit box depends on your spiritual authority, and also on your imagination, and that you don't need it. You are just making it to record something on a specific time, and it doesn't matter whether you have it or not, and it is just to have something if something goes through. But yet there needs to be somebody who can reach the realm to hear what it's saying. So, and I know that some magicians are far against this, but since even churches use that and so on in order to be able to help and to clarify, especially if you aren't sure, so that you can send it to others and you can ask for help, so you get help to the people. And that is one thing of being a servant to God, that is to help others, and you are working together with the angels in order to bring help and peace, and you have to be humble. So if you don't understand the word and there is a clear word that you can't understand, then you just know that that is that, and you ask somebody to help so you can help somebody else. I hope that clarifies the whole thing, and I love you all, and it is just like all these other tools they use. The more imagination you have, the more easily you're falling into the trap. So if you're used to demanding an answer and you have spiritual authority, you don't use tools like pendulums and Ouija boards. You don't need that. You know there's a spirit, but in honesty you feel that it's such a low-grade spirit that you don't bother it unless it bothers you. And I always give them an opening to enter into the light if they wish to. And if they don't, then they are free to stay. But if they start bothering people, that's when you tell them to go. But otherwise, it's fine. So, have a magical day. I love you all. And if you have any questions, just ask and I try to answer them. Bye for now.